Hello everyone, today I want to talking about the behavior of the humpback whale in the western North Atlantic. I'm ready. What do humpback whales look like? This look and it's their flippers and it's their flocks. This paper reports on the feeding behavior of the humpback whale continental shearwater of the northeastern United States. We describe several feeding behavior reported for the first time, as well as a number of behavior known from other areas but not previously reported for western North Atlantic. And this is some early observation of humpback feeding behavior. This is 2 lessons of capture krill. And first, it lies on its side on the surface and swing around a circle at great speed, while it slash the sea into form its flank and tail, and form a ring form. Krill gather together in the circle, and the humpback whale dive under the foam ring and moment later came out in the certain to fill its own mouth with krill and water. And the humpback lay on its side and closed its mouth and the cage was complete. And the second method, they go a short distance below the surface of the water and swimming in the ring, but at the same time it blew out. And air rose to the surface like a thick wall of air bubbles. The crew saw this row of air bubbles were flattened into the center, and the less that are sent to the smell. And the bubble making was reported by CNN and weekly journals in 1978 and described in detail in 1979. And with the exception of the work of Watkins and Sherville's, accounts of feeding behavior of these species in the water of the world of the western North Atlantic are few and largely anecdotal. It means that lots of these are based on story, not based on research. Our observations were made from dedicated aircraft, dedicated service vessel, and a platform of opportunity and some shore station. How do we do the data connect? Photographs taken in both 35mm and 17mm formats. The data were supplemented by written and occasionally tape-recorded films. And also from aircraft observation estimate the critical dimension of the whale's body or vigilance. And from the shipboard, more accurate images were transferred to no dimension on the vessel or to a 24cm diameter filbert disc, which had been placed in the imaging vicinity of the whale. And this is the study area where observation of feeding behavior were made. And the place name on the chart are those mentioned in text. Is some behavior. Circles meaning. On 2 December on 7 December of 1978, a single humpback whale was observed and photographed swimming in the circle, rolling the surface of this one. And the tail slash commonly as tail slash may have unplanned this behavior. And descends flat over were present over the wheel and jumping were present by the head and body. This observation was substantiated in May 2018 when a number of shipboard observations confirmed the behavior is in associated. And this behavior was reported maritime by a single humpback over a period of several hours. And circular swimming behavior was observed on 2 occasions, and each time involving a single whale is considered relatively uncommon. And long feed. An outward rush and the water surface with a longitudinal axis of the body intersecting the plane of the surface at an angle of 30 degrees to 90 degrees. As the whale breaks the surface, the mouth is wide open and clicks open a gradually distending short region is seen. This common behavior has been recorded in 21% of our feeding observation from single animals as well as from groups. And this is long feed. Inside group behavior. The whale repeatedly display a behavior we have termed an inside group. This is sign inside type of behavior. And A. Often making a sharp dive, humpback whales drag the surface shortly with block. And from slab create an area of bubbles as whales swimming away in a shallow dive. And the figure held horizontally. And see while execute a 180-degree rolls and does a sharp inside loop. And the while long feeds through the area of the bubbles created by original fronts. And now there's some bubbling behavior, also called underwater exhalation. They're seen in association with feeding in 52% of our feeding observation. This exhalation appears to be of 2 major types: return bubble cone and bubble cloud. In general, bubble cones and bubble cloud have been observed with about equal frequency. This is 7 types of bubble behavior associated with feeding in Humpback. And as for this using bubble cone and Eastward Fishery are using bubble cloud. What is bubble cones? Formed by the underwater exhalation of whales swimming from 3 to 5 meters below the surface. And this is a cone are 1 to 2 meters in diameter and are composed of grading size bubbles estimated to be generally larger than 2 centimeters. And a series of from 4 to 15 bubble cones are used to form rows, semicircles, and complete circles. And A is called bubble roll, and B is bubble roll circle. This is group. And C is called B or semicircle shaped bubble cartons. And D is a complete circle. And we talk about bubble cones. It's a single underwater exhalation forms a single bubble cone, and the size of the bubble cone is 4 to 7 meters diameter. And the cone made out of smaller bubble and is to some region, and it's uniformly sized. And shape is dome shape is like this. It's the three types of bubble cloud structures. It is a single bubble cloud, and F is triangular formation, and E and G is linear formation. And it has been our experience that a given humpback will repeat a fairly rigid feeding pattern over a period of time. However, several individual humpback or group of humpback feeding in the same area may or may not display the same feeding change. And several examples illustrate this observation. On when Jame in 1978, all humpback birds experienced bubble cloud feeding, and in 1979, bubble clouds were formed by one individual while three others were long feeding. And on a third occasion, a single humpback on the north side of school of American families was observed forming bubble cloud while three others were generating bubble in roost and long feeding. Breeding species. Sheep-born observation primarily on still region bank. American snails are frequent prey species, and at least one other species in the target of humpback feeding. It appears that humpbacks in the ways called the reactive.
All right, now do you have a conclusion slide? June.
Say bubble cloud and bubble cloud. It's all of them can do this behavior.
Repeat her question.
She wants to know the bubble cloud and bubble cloud are all they can do this behavior.
Yes.
They also can do bubble cloud and bubble cloud. Yes.
Lilian.
Can you explain again the long feeding? Please. Can you explain again about their long feeding?
Their what? Sorry.
Long feeding. Long feeding. This.
What is her question?
She wants to know what is long feeding. And you can see this, they will go fastly to the surface water and wide open their mouths to eat krill.
Leo.
Please go back to page 19. What the shape of the bump is?
This,
What is his question?
you want to know how the shape of the bubble cloud. It looks like this one.
You have a name there. The description. What's
It's
that?
called dome shape.
Don't show it.
And it's, you can know head of the bowl like this.
Okay.
Vincent Liang.
So can you go back to the first page of behavior?
Newspaper. This.
I want to know what is stretching.
Repeat.
Situation. This is sent to a circular swing.
So what's your answer again?
It is sent to a circular swing.
Jet, what's your question?
What?
And And what's the question? You want to ask a term?
Explain you say large and next.
Large and what?
And next. I don't know. My
And not.
and that.
There's a adjective at the end of a sentence where you talk about this term anecdotal. Anecdotal, you explain the term.
Oh, you want to know what is largely.
Yeah.
Oh, anecdotal is based on some stories and not based on fake stories.
Denver.
So, can you tell me the different purpose of a bubble column and bubble cloud? Like, is it for different food or is it like for different species?
What is his question?
Can you speak English?
Shorter question.
What is the different purpose between bubble cloud and bubble columns?
Different purpose.
So what is his question?
He wants to know the different purpose of a bubble column and bubble cloud. They use these together. I don't know.
No, I mean, what is the different purpose between? Because like, it has to be a specific purpose for this, like bubble columns. Maybe it's for small shrimps, and for a bubble cloud might be some fishes or something. So, do you know what is the purpose between these two behaviors?
You understand him?
I can't understand.
You can or you cannot? All right. Vincent Tsai, right?
Can you back to the paper?
Good job.
What is different between the fluke and tail?
Oh, fluke is one of fluke is one and tail is whole.
So Rebecca, based on your QA performance, I think you have very good English. So I think in theory you don't really need to rely on this kind of wordy slides. In my opinion, you have the ability to give a more active presentation without actually like a machine reader. Yeah, that's my feeling. You can do better, I think. And then how? The how is next time, if you want to practice, I think you can make this kind of presentation more interesting by looking for image from the book from Google or video even that you think might fit the description here. There are millions, tons, or a lot of images about whale behavior, I'm sure, out there on the internet. And some of them might match the description here. Because actually, even you spend 1 minute reading through these long sentences, I simply don't remember. That's a problem to everybody, actually. And if you give us a visual presentation, especially like a flashing or launch feeding, like I don't actually remember launch feeding, but I remember this. So that's the power of an image, you know. So you really have to acknowledge the power of image and use it well. So, and for example, when presenting this, it's actually a little bit exhausting to have to follow you through these long sentences while there are interesting image here. So if I were you, next time I would actually put make these really large, maybe each of them, they will occupy the whole slide, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I do not really have to read through this sentence. You can describe on your own. You say, oh, it's a shallow dive, and its fluke is like a slap on the surface of the water. That's what they are doing, right? Yeah, you can use your own words. You don't need to stick to this awkward sentence. Well, that's not the right thing to say, but actually, the written sentence on paper, they are not good for spoken language. You need to know that. So when you try to speak very like a paper, then it makes it difficult to understand. And based on your QA, I'm sure you can do better next time. You can simply use your own words, and you don't need to read like a machine. And then there's a mistake that I need to correct you. Here you say like this bubble column. It's very nice that you make this kind of visual display, but actually this is not right. So each of the circle is a column. Is that right? I think each of these circles should be like this, or that means a bubble. Each of these is a bubble. All right, because here inside it should be full of, yeah. Otherwise that gives me the impression you are talking about this. Because this is the chart presented by the paper. So I'm thinking you are actually talking about the dimension here. When you draw a figure so much similar, like the figure, yeah, I would say you can put more bubbles inside. Otherwise, there's confusion. And and it's actually not clear after seeing these two slides. You say they are early observations, right? Then it's not clear to me what's really new in this paper. So is it because in this area there are not so many observations? Is that right? Then you might want to say that you might want to emphasize that point. And usually I would suggest that you should write down purpose here. Otherwise, we are not sure if this is a background information or if this is the purpose. I always prefer that you write down clearly, this is the purpose. Because when you do that, I will pay more attention. Otherwise, I will think it's just another background information. All right? And I hope you can check the pronunciation of this word. I'm not sure if the way you pronounce it is correct, but I'm not sure if my pronunciation is correct either. So please check its pronunciation. Yeah. So I'm sure I hope next time you can improve by reducing the word counts. See a lot of text here. Give us more image and print keywords on these interesting figures from the page. Okay, thank you, Rebecca.